We are back into the action, folks. In my own words, the podcast. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine, and we look at one Jeffrey, otherwise known as Scooby Carter, the defensive back for the University of Alabama, who has put himself in the transfer portal yet again. He was in the transfer portal once before in November of last season, 2019, before later removing himself, but he's back in the portal again. One of multiple defensive backs that Alabama signed in its 2019 class. Scooby Carter, a native of Mansfield, Texas, at 6 feet, 186 pounds, played in 3 games last year before taking his red shirt. And this is my biggest gripe when you look at the transfer portal, okay? This is my gripe with the transfer portal. It promotes the easy way out. It enables people. You're seeing less and less players want to fight, want to battle, want to grind, want to compete anymore. It's become, if I'm not the guy immediately, well, I'm going to go somewhere else where I can become the guy. Or if I'm not the guy immediately, I'm gone. Why sit there and wait? Why sit there and compete? Why sit there and battle for something when I have the transfer portal? I can just put my name in there and go somewhere else. The transfer portal enables people. It pacifies athletes. Now, I'm one that I want to see athletes play. True. I want to see athletes get their shine on. True. I want to see young men be successful. Absolutely. But in the words of my man Meek Mill, there are levels to this thing, and there are avenues to where you have to get this type of stuff done. Now, for me, the only 2 reasons where I feel as though it's perfectly fine for somebody to go into the transfer portal. Reason number 1 is if you have an athlete that's played a little bit, 3 games this year, 5 games this year, 7 games this year. I mean, he gets the playing experience. He gets a little time on the field, but he's not a starter. He's not a marquee contributor. He does get his degree, so he fulfills the educational requirement of why he's in school. But then he feels like, you know what? I've got my degree. I played a little bit, but now I want to go somewhere where I can be the man. In that aspect, fine, cool. I'm okay with that. Go somewhere where you can be the man. You've played a little bit, you've got your degree, you fulfilled the educational requirement, that's fine. That's the first option. The second option would be if a person is just buried on the depth chart. If you're buried on the depth chart, if you know that people are just passing you over and you know for a fact you are not going to see the field, then by all means necessary, okay, fine. If there's a number of people at your respective position, fine. You go to the transfer portal, no harm, no foul. But in the case of Scooby Carter, Alabama graduated 4 defensive backs to the NFL draft. 4 defensive backs to the NFL. Trayvon Diggs gone, Jarrett Maiden gone, Xavier McKinney gone, Shyheim Carter gone. Scooby Carter this spring would have had an opportunity to compete, play, and probably start anywhere in the secondary. You got 4 guys gone to the NFL draft. In that sense, why not battle? Why not fight? Why not compete? Why not show Nick Saban, show Carl Scott, the cornerbacks coach, show Charles Kelly, the safeties coach, that you are a bad man, that you are a bad brother, that you are the best on the field, especially where you're going to have an opportunity. Because aside from Patrick Surtain II, who has the most starting experience on the team, nobody else has a lot of starting experience. Daniel Wright has played. Jordan Battle has played. Josh Jobe has played. Marcus Banks has played. But after Patrick Surtain, there's not a lot, if any at all, of elite starting experience on this team. And I don't get it. When March 13th, spring ball, first day of spring ball, you're behind is the transfer portal, and you actually have an opportunity to get on the field, fight, battle, compete for a chance to play. And the young man's talented. Scooby Carter is gifted. Scooby Carter brings a lot of tools, brings a lot of diversity to the table, and you have a chance and you just bolt to the portal. You just bolt out to the portal. I don't get it, man. I mean, I really don't get it. I mean, I take myself, for example. I have never been a D1 athlete, okay? I've never been a D1 athlete. I played 3 years of high school ball at Francis Marion High School. So, but for me, I was never one to quit. I was never one to bolt out. And I just remember my junior year of high school, we were playing Dallas County, and one of our players got hurt. And everybody, you had nobody going in to fill in for the guy, and I subbed myself in the game. I got off the bench, I put on my pads, I subbed myself in, coach wasn't even looking at me, I just go flying onto the field, and I'm thinking I'm gonna catch the ball. Of course they didn't throw me the ball, they said, Steven, you're a decoy, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I showed that I'm gonna be on the field, and I don't know what will be the next move for Scooby Carter, but in the transfer portal. But as always, people, you want the best in news, notes, and information. When you discuss Alabama football, you want to be the envy of your friends. You download the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. It's very simple. You can get this from your iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. We got the podcast options, whether you have iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Overcast.fm. Folks, we got you covered. If the good Lord sees fit, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back on Monday, continuing the conversation of Crimson Tide football. But as always, I leave you with my favorite 3 things. It is the weekend. Husbands, get down to business with them wives, loving on them. It's the weekend. Wives, get down to business, loving them husbands. It's the weekend. Children, no school, but get them chores done. Get those 3 hearty meals a day and those 3 great laughs a day. Until next time, you've been rocking with your man, Stephen M. Smith. Peace. This has been In My Own Words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.